Welcome back. Before we move into long-term guidance, let's lock in what Part 3 gave you. You saw that /commands gave Claude Code 4 command paths, built-in commands, skills, plugin commands, and MCP prompts. You also saw that frontmatter controls how a skill behaves, variables pull in context, and context fork keeps noisy work out of the main thread. That recap matters because commands help inside one session. Memory is what keeps the rules alive after that session is gone. Think of this like choosing what stays on your desk and what goes into the handbook. If everything stays on the desk, it disappears when you walk away. The context window is Claude's working memory during one session, and tokens are the small units filling that space. A token is roughly 3 to 4 characters, so even short text spends budget. Persistent memory solves the next problem. It survives across sessions, and CLAUDE.md is the startup file that carries instructions, conventions, and context forward. Think of memory ownership like notes in an office. The team wiki belongs to everyone. Your sticky note belongs to you. The notebook a coworker keeps while working belongs to neither side alone, but it still helps later. In Claude Code, /claude.md or /claude/claude.md is project memory, shared with the team and committed to Git. /claude/claude.md is user memory for personal preferences across all projects. Auto memory is the notebook Claude writes for itself as it learns your patterns. Think of the hierarchy like stacked house rules. The rules on top outrank the rules below them. That matters because conflict is unavoidable once you have organization policy, repo guidance, local overrides, and auto-written notes all in one system. Claude Code uses 8 tiers. Manage policy and manage drop-ins sit at the top. Then come project memory and project rules. Below those sit user memory and user rules, then local project memory, and finally auto memory. Lock this in. Higher levels override lower levels every time. Now that the pecking order is clear, let's cover the 3 ways you actually adjust this setup during real work. This matters because durable guidance only helps when you know how to change it cleanly. Think of this first path like sticking one quick note on the wall. When the change is tiny, use the hash prefix. The source example is #always use async/await. That gives you a fast, single-line addition without opening a larger editing flow. Sometimes the change is bigger than one sticky note. In that case, open the dedicated editor with /memory. That is the path for extensive changes, because you can shape the stored guidance directly instead of forcing a larger idea into one short line. The last path is for day 1, not day 30. Use /init when you are setting up a project for the first time. It creates the initial memory scaffold, which gives Claude Code a real starting handbook instead of an empty room. Think of imports like a table of contents instead of copying whole chapters into your notebook. This section matters because duplicated documentation drifts, while reference documentation stays anchored to one source of truth. In Claude.md, you can point to existing files with @adme.md, at doc/architecture.md, and at package.json. Imports support up to 5 levels of nesting, and first-time external imports require approval. The big win is focus. You keep the main memory file concise instead of stuffing repeated detail into a file Claude loads every session. Think of auto memory as the notebook a good coworker keeps while working with you. It matters because startup budget is limited. You want useful memory, but you do not want every note loaded all at once. Auto memory lives at //claude/projects/project/memory/. The entry point is MEMORY.md, and only the first 200 lines load at startup. Topic files like debugging.md load on demand, not at startup. Claude writes this memory automatically as it learns your patterns, and all work trees in the same Git repo share one auto memory directory. Think of a path-specific rule like a sign on one workshop door, not an announcement blasted through the whole building. This matters because a helpful API rule becomes noise when it spills into unrelated files. Rules files can use YAML frontmatter with paths, globs to target only the right code. The source example scopes to src/api/*****star.ts. Inside that rule, every endpoint must include input validation with Zod, return the consistent error format, success, error, data, and use cursor-based pagination instead of offset. That is precision, not clutter. Think of project memory as the handbook you hand every new teammate on day one. This matters because vague memory does not help a real codebase. The source example shows a project CLAUDE.md for an analytics dashboard. It lists the stack: Python 3.11, Fast API, PostgreSQL 15, React 18, and TypeScript. It lists the commands make dev, make test, and make lint. Then it spells out conventions. Use snake_case for Python, camel case for TypeScript, keep all API responses in data, meta, errors, make database migrations reversible, never commit NV files, and import a docs/architecture.md for deeper structure. Think of personal memory like your own sticky note on the monitor. This section matters because personal preferences do not belong in team policy. The source example keeps those preferences in //claude/claude.md. Under communication, it says show code examples before explaining theory, use ASCII diagrams for architecture, and keep explanations concise because the user is a data scientist. Under code style, it says prefer functional programming patterns, use type hints everywhere in Python, and prefer pathlib over os.path. That separation keeps the repo clean while still letting Claude adapt to you. Think of modular rules like folders in a filing cabinet instead of one giant binder. This matters because shorter, focused rule files are easier to maintain and easier for Claude to follow. The source directory shows .claude/rules/ with testing.md and security.md for whole project guidance. Then it adds an API/folder with validation.md and pagination.md for API-specific rules. That structure works because general guidance stays general and path-scoped rules stay close to the code they are meant to govern. Think of configuration as two drawers. One drawer is shared with the team. The other drawer follows only you. This matters because once those drawers get mixed together, people start editing the wrong file. In the project.claude/drawer, you keep claude.md, rules/star.md, settings.json, settings.local.json, skills/agent/ and .mcp.json. In the home/.claude/drawer, you keep personal claude.md, personal rules, global settings, personal skills, personal agents, and projects/proj/memory/. Use /context to see what loaded, /doctor to diagnose issues, and remember that settings.local.json is auto-get ignored for private overrides. Before we wrap, let's cover the habits that quietly poison this setup. This matters because bad long-term guidance is worse than no guidance when it teaches Claude the wrong lesson. First, never turn this file into a vault for secrets. Store API keys or passwords in CLAUDE.md, and anyone with repo access can see them. Claude can also leak them. The correct fix is environment variables and getIgnored.env files. Second, do not write one giant handbook. A 1,000-line Claude.md dilutes focus. Shorter files work better. Keep the main file under 300 lines and use imports when the deeper detail already exists somewhere else. Third, do not duplicate the README inside Claude.md. Copies drift out of sync. The right move is at our EADME.md. One source of truth stays accurate longer than two similar files edited in different places. Fourth, vague rules do not help. A line like "follow best practices" sounds polished, but Claude cannot execute it. Be specific instead. The source example is clear. Use two-space indentation for all JavaScript files. Fifth, stale memory creates bad guidance. If the project evolves and Claude.md does not, Claude keeps following the old playbook. Review the file periodically and use /memory to keep it aligned with the current project. Sixth, keep personal preferences out of team memory. Put your own style choices in /claude/claude.md, not the project file. Otherwise, one person's taste turns into a rule the whole repo inherits. Here is the decision framework to keep. If Claude only needs the detail for this conversation, leave it in the context window. If you need the guidance tomorrow, put it in Claude.md, rules files, or auto memory. The system loads Claude.md automatically at startup, and the 8-tier hierarchy decides which instruction wins. Use hashtag for a quick rule, /memory for an editor-based change, and /init for first-time setup. Import existing docs with that path instead of duplicating them. Keep files concise, store secrets in environment variables, and keep personal guidance in /.claude/ while shared guidance stays in .claude/. Next, we move from memory to skills. Think of a skill like a specialist employee whose job title and short description load first, while the full playbook loads only when needed. That is progressive disclosure. In Part 5, you'll see the 3 levels of loading, how auto-invocation matches a skill description to a request, and how context fork runs a skill in a separate subagent. That is the next step after memory, not just keeping guidance around, but turning that guidance into reusable capabilities.